what has he been through with the Denver Broncos? He's been through some quarterback situations, right? He's seen what not to do and definitely what to do when it comes to bringing in Peyton Manning, when it comes to the drafting of Bo Nix and finding the right coach and quarterback combination. So I think he's in a good spot there with New York. I didn't really like that situation on paper for anybody, whether it was coach or GM. But I like Darren Muji going there because of what he was able to do in Denver. You guys have creative gifts beyond that, which is kind of what sparked, I think, this whole idea for the conversation.
Have a business together, and my background in education is business administration with like an emphasis in entrepreneurship. So I always had kind of this this idea of, or this desire to maybe be my own boss and own a business.
What did, first of all, lead you to, because you were a pretty staunch atheist, like you were like, and the conversations that you and I have had, you would like try to defend that faith aspect.
I would actually define myself as an argumentative atheist. So I wasn't just an atheist, which sometimes can be like passive. I enjoyed engaging people of faith in conversation.
You can't help but think next offseason, if Vance Joseph can get a head coach gig, Broncos get those 2 third-round picks, Jim Leonard slides in as, he was pass game coordinator, secondary coach this year, and he'll do so in 2025 again. Maybe he can be that defensive coordinator and just kind of seamlessly help you transition away from Vance Joseph in 2026. $10 minutes.
These came out quite a while ago. Again, feature them to
Happy baby.
Even
The Denver Broncos found their franchise quarterback in Bo Nix in the 2024 season, but in order to properly surround him, they're going to need help at wide receiver, running back, tight end, and up the middle of their defense at inside linebacker and safety.
Sarah, we're gonna start with you coming through here. The Commanders or the Bills? Which team, in your opinion, is better set up to get over the hump next year? Again, Bills fans, sorry for you. No Joe, but still a show. Commanders or Bills, Sarah? Who do you got has the best chance of getting over the hump next year to get to the big game?
Well, I think the Commanders have the best shot, and it's because the Bills have to go against their arch rivals, the kryptonite that is the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, realistically, they haven't beat them in the playoffs anytime recently, and so I don't know. I don't have any faith in the Bills anymore. I'm sitting over here with all my Broncos gear wondering, when is somebody going to finally take these guys down? And we're over here like, Josh Allen, he's Superman. He can finally do it. He can be it. I'm sick of putting my hope in Josh Allen. I'm done putting faith in Josh Allen. You know what? I'd rather see Bo Nix at this point figure it out and make it happen. And
I just don't know if the Broncos are in that spot right now, Cody. Now, when it comes to the center position, might be a different story because obviously, although we got an all-pro year out of Quinn Miners, we got Ben Powers continuing to play consistent football at the left guard position. I think the center position left a little bit to be desired. At that time, like the Broncos, I don't even know if they were certain that Cody was going to be the full-time starter at that spot because Welch played quite a bit in that particular game, and then they moved on, and it was kind of just this revolving door. It's left more questions than anything, certainly answers when it comes to this position group going forward. And if the Broncos can land Darren Rizzi as their special teams coordinator, I do think that is absolutely huge. This is 4 top 50 guys all time in win percentage in the NFL, and you've put them all now in the same division, and 3 of these guys, well, they've got quarterbacks. They've got really good quarterbacks. Big question going into the season, and then you had 2 guys eclipse double-digit sacks, Jonathan Cooper and obviously Nick Bonito. The first time that a Broncos duo has done that since Von Miller and Bradley Chubb back in 2018, and of course the common denominator there is Vance Joseph, who was the head coach back then and is now the defensive coordinator in Denver. To have two guys eclipse 10 sacks, I mean, that's exactly what you want to see out of an edge group. Guys that will close out games, guys that make big plays, and these guys certainly did that over the course of 2024.
This healthy McChicken is going to get a W. Oh, W. Wow. How good is it? Great. Even Leia likes it. The healthy McChicken for the win. Bang. Low-cal Big Mac sauce. Flexible dieting lifestyle for the win. Big dubs. The latest Ninja Creami creation. Protein ice cream. Captain Crunch. Oops All Berries. Cereal milk. I'm telling you guys, this is the stuff. I didn't think anything could rival Reese's Puffs cereal milk, but this, man, this is top tier.
Yeah, I'm really excited about talking to you about. I was like, I'm gonna have that on the podcast. Yeah, that was super fun. Yeah, I like the spot. Yeah. I hope you've all enjoyed kind of this format of video. Definitely just a different style, just kind of a behind the scenes look at what I do in a given week. Now, this past week was obviously quite a bit busier than normal. As you saw, not only did the football related content, but had the Live Your Purpose podcast recordings, which those are so great. I encourage you to go check out that channel as well, the Live Your Purpose podcast, where we're gonna have a ton of cool stuff coming up here in 2025. But also, I'm preaching tomorrow, actually, as of when I'm recording this. So by the time you watch this video, I will have already preached a couple of messages over the weekend, and I've got my notes going over here. I've modified it a number of times, and to kind of give you a peek behind the curtain of that as well, I definitely respect people who preach and teach on a regular basis. It's not something that I normally do, but I'm trying to kind of fill a void when our lead pastor, Monty, needs to have a weekend off, or when he's out of town or things like that. And so I want to do my part, and I feel like, God's given me a lot of great leaders in my life who have taught me a lot, and I definitely never thought that I would be preaching and teaching or anything like that. And so it's definitely a humbling experience for me every time I put together a message, every time you go through the grind of just kind of, second guessing a lot of different things that you've written down, or is this going to connect with people? Is this going to be something that people want to hear? Is it what they need to hear? Is this from the Holy Spirit, or is this from me? And so there's a lot of wrestling that goes into preparing for a sermon that I don't normally go through on a week-to-week basis. So it definitely adds a lot more stress, but at the same time, it's a great stretching process, and I'm grateful that I've been put in a position where I get the privilege of being up there to do it. So I'm looking forward to that. We're talking about discipline, creating good habits. I feel like that's something that I can really relate to as somebody who, not only has stuck with certain things for a really long time, but as somebody who's always striving to figure out ways that I can be better in that department. How can I be a better steward of the life that I've been given? How can I be even more disciplined? How can I make sure that I'm always following God's way, right? And so that's what I'm going to be preaching about. I'll share some snippets from that message at some point on the channel as well. But I didn't want to gatekeep my Ninja Creami recipe either. I don't know how many of you really tune in for the Ninja Creami recipes. I'm obsessed. I should probably be a spokesperson for Ninja at this point or something, but I just want to kind of tell you exactly the process for this. It's very, very simple, right? So what you're going to do, 1 cup of Fairlife milk, 1 cup of almond milk. You put it in your Ninja Creami container, and then you just kind of fill it up with cereal to the point that it's not overflowing, but to the point that you kind of eyeball it and you judge it and you say, hey, that's probably going to be a good amount to kind of get saturated in that milk. Now, I've had this one steeping in here for like 24 hours probably at this point, which is a bit overkill. Usually you would just need, like, if you throw this in the morning before work, and then you take it out in the evening when you're preparing last night's Ninja Creami, it should be enough time for you to kind of mix this all together. So just let it steep for like 5 to 8 hours is kind of the minimum, I would say. But it doesn't hurt, I don't think, probably to have it in there for a full day. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strain the cereal out of here with just like a spoon that has some slots in it. And I'm gonna sadly, I'm gonna throw that cereal away. I know it's not a waste though, because you're using the flavor. So, and then we're just gonna go in with 1 serving of the white chocolate sugar-free or 0 sugar Jello pudding mix, 7 grams. 1 serving or 2 teaspoons of, a sweetener of your choice, which is 8 grams. And then 1 scoop or 30 grams of vanilla whey casein protein powder. Very, very important with that ingredient, and that's why I always use Quest. It's the best for cooking and Ninja Creami. So I'm not gonna gatekeep the recipe. This one is goated. However, this one is absolutely legendary, unreal. So I'm gonna make my Ninja Creami for tonight, which is actually cinnamon toast crunch ice cream, and this is gonna be delicious as well. But then I've got some other work to finish up, and I've got some more preparation to do in getting ready for the sermon tomorrow. So I can't wait to share some more next week with you about how everything went. I'll share some snippets, hopefully from the service itself. And I also want to kind of share with you maybe some more Ninja Creami creations, maybe some of my top sneakers that I've been wearing lately. Obviously, I love sneakers if you don't know that about me already, so I'll share some of that stuff with you as well. And we'll just keep on having fun on the channel. So I appreciate you so much for tuning in this week. Thanks for hanging in with a different style of video. We'll see you soon.